The White House brief on iHeartRadio, and Krystal Ball, Democratic strategist. And Krystal, we haven't heard from you yet on this.
Sure.
So let me ask you, do you think that this is really just about political posturing, about President Obama trying to sort of position himself to maybe appeal to folks in the middle, independents, by saying, hey, look, I know you probably have thought of me as being on the far left, but I'm actually pretty centrist in my views. I'm serious about wanting to cut. What do you think?
Well, I think both sides have been engaging in quite a bit of political posturing. To Paul's point, I wouldn't hold your breath expecting a deal to come out today. But nor do I think that this meeting is completely without substance. They are coming together. Hopefully they will be talking about their differences and trying to figure out some way that we could avoid a default, which is coming whether it's August 2nd or August 15th. It's certainly coming in a few weeks.
Right.
You know, it's frustrating because I don't feel that either side has given the American people the debate they really deserve. I think both sides are really just engaging in the political theater without getting into the real structural reforms that we need to have a debate about. One thing that I thought was interesting, there was a poll that came out a while ago that asked people questions, but they didn't just say, you know, do you oppose or favor cuts to Medicare? Do you oppose or support these different things? They actually gave them the real numbers to work with and allowed them to use a sliding scale to figure out how would they deal with the deficit if it was in their hands. And they came up with an approach that was very similar to what the deficit reduction commissions, both the Simpson-Bowles and the Rivlin-Domenici, came up with, which were some tax increases, some cuts across the board, including to defense and to entitlements. And it was a pretty reasonable, balanced approach, which is what I'm hoping that we see come out of this. Unfortunately, from my perspective, Republicans have really painted themselves into this corner where they have said absolutely no new revenue, nothing, no tax increases, nothing at all. And it's
Thank you for calling it
hard.
tax increases, by the way. It's not revenue, it's tax increases.
It is, well, right. They're the same thing.
No.
I mean,
revenue implies that they earned it. They're taking it from us, so it's tax increase.
Fine, I'll use your language, tax increases. Yeah. But that's basically saying if we don't get 100% of what we want, then no deal. And that's not negotiating. That's not compromising. The president has already said that he was willing to accept basically $1 of revenue increases, tax increases, whatever you want to call them, for every $5 in spending cuts. So Democrats have shown a willingness to compromise, to talk about entitlements, to take on all of these things, and Republicans have really shown no willingness to move to the center
I think
at all.
Democrats have shown that they want to nibble around the edges. They want to, oh, well, we're going to cut. They definitely want to cut defense. That's definitely there. And I'll tell you, I'm from the school of conservatism that says we have to cut defense. We have to look at defense. We have to look at all spending and make sure that that gets reduced. But right now, what Republicans are saying is, well, why would you do a payroll tax increase? Part of the reason I do my show is because I look at the upper right-hand corner of my paycheck and I say, how much money is being taken out and being given away to other people? I say, don't increase that now. I want to be able to spend that money. I want to be able to put that money back into the economy. Maybe I'll hire somebody with that. Tax increases are fundamentally bad for the economy. Every economist knows it. And back to the Simpson-Bowles Commission, President Obama ignored them. He didn't do a budget, and he ignored them completely. So I don't know how. I would love it if we paid attention to them for 1 second, but the White House ignored them first.
Krystal, let me...
Their own commission.
I actually want to grant a point that Paul is saying here.
Okay.
You know, I think that, especially after Paul Ryan released his Medicare plan,
well, his budget.
His budget, but the part that obviously got the most attention was the Medicare plan.
Right.
And Democrats realized what a potent political weapon this was. And we saw it in New York with the special election that Democrats picked up a seat they really probably weren't going to win otherwise. That's made Democrats leery of giving any ground on Medicare because they want to be able to use that as a hammer against Republicans in 2012.
The whole idea...
I will definitely grant you that point.